Hello, I'm Connie Rotella, and welcome to our Triple Threat podcast. I'm super excited to begin this journey with all of you. Are you ready to put your best foot forward and show up with confidence? This tool is here to help you evolve into the artist you are meant to be. Just always remember to believe, become, and be ready. Add a new skill set or refine what you already know. So here we go. Today, I have a special guest that is going to be speaking all about the power of the heart. This is a place where I live from every day, the space I give myself to live from my heart, lead with my heart, live with passion, live with heart. I keep saying it over and over on my social media. And my special guest today is someone that inspires me every day. He's a beautiful creator. He's been in the business, in the industry for a very, very long time. And I welcome Jean-Jacques Pillet to the room again, because he was invited already in season 1. But, you know, the creative talk was really powerful. But now we need to have a one-on-one heart talk, Jean-Jacques. Do you agree?
That's a good way to put it. Yes, thank you for having me again. Connie, always a pleasure. I love your passionate energy and how you move mountains. So I'm going to stay on that mountain. So when you move it, I'm still traveling with you.
Oh my God, you're just so beautiful. And this, when I tell you, make sure to surround yourself with beautiful, powerful people that just send out great energy. He's one. And I'm so blessed to have you in my life, Jean-Jacques. I'm so blessed that I know you and that throughout your career and what's coming up for you, I keep being inspired. And I can't wait for all of you to see what's coming up for Jean-Jacques in a few years from now, which is very close.
I can say one thing, Connie, just before you start the question, how to trust what life is presented to you. You know, we are in pandemic and we still have to believe very deeply that things will happen anyway, because if they're supposed to happen, they will happen. And so to always keep your belief alive, therefore what you're made of in the most precious part of yourself. And I think this example that you just say, like, you know, what's coming. Yes, we are working towards something very special for sure. But with the pandemic, many times, how many times my arms were like tied. And I was like, okay, how this is going to take place? How am I going to make this happen? I think there is no secret. You have to dive even deeper inside yourself to find the roots of your energy that will move that mountain that you do on a regular basis. So, you know, there is no secrets really.
You know, I move the mountain maybe in a small level, but you're moving mountains in a very humanitarian way, Jean-Jacques. And this is where I want to start the talk. We as artists have a heart. We live by heart. We get hurt because we're sensitive people. But I want to remove the word artist for a while because I want to connect with the human. And this is what we need to do, because we forget that we are human before being a certain title that we give ourselves, and we have to live from that title. And who better person than you to share this heart chakra with us, this heart talk with us. So I'm leaving you the floor to see where you're going to begin, because I know something amazing is going to come out of your mouth. So go for it, Jean-Jacques.
Let's be humble about it, because we all have our own experience. You know, there is no one life that is more special than another one. We all are here for specific reasons, I guess. Sometimes, you know, as you were saying earlier, and we speak later about it, sometimes some of us are here on the artistic path, some of others are on the scientist path, some others are on political path. I mean, there is all sorts of different paths because of what we choose or felt inside ourselves that we have to follow. So we do follow it. And this is a ground for everyone. And each decision that we have made in our life, we normally should do it out of passion, right? I know passion is such a word that people want to make it vanish from the dictionary, because sometimes people think like, you know, well, it's too much all over the place. Where is the focus? Passion is large. It's an energy. It's something that is really transporting you to surpass yourself most of the time. Without passion, what can we do? whatever, where that passion takes its roots in terms of your decision making. The thing is, without passion, what do you do? And where does passion comes from? It's a strength. It's not a decorative thing. If you think your passion is decorative, well, then maybe you're right. Question it. Make sure it doesn't come from what's in between your two ears, because then you know you will go on the wrong path. Passions come from the heart. There is a root there that is guiding us, and by listening to it, you reveal something truthful to what you believe. And sometimes we can be surprised, also by listening to it. Sometimes we want to go in some direction, but some other time our heart is guiding us, telling us that, hey, wait a second, make a pause, don't go too fast, take a breath or two or three, and just be spacious for 1 second, just take the time to pause, not to stop. There is nothing that can be stopped anyway in what's happening within ourselves, but just make a pause, just take a moment to breathe and see what's happening.
Jean-Jacques, I'm going to stop you here because it's easy hearing that, because everybody says that. And I'm putting myself as an example. I've heard this many times, and I do stop and take breaths, and I meditate, and I pray, and I do everything like that. But it hit me hard. Sometimes there's moments in life that hit me harder than others, where I understand what that means. And when you truly understand what taking a break is and taking that breath, that's when you really connect to your heart. So for those that think that, yes, we hear this often, I get it, but keep doing it, because one day you will connect to that breath and that pause that is going to reveal you these huge messages.
Absolutely. And I think we have to stop also thinking that, everything that is happening to us that looks like it's, I'm going to put this in parentheses, negative. What does it mean? Negativity, does it exist, really? We can question that too, but everything that happens to us, if we get angry each time something happens, then we'll get an understanding of the situation that is outside of ourselves. And that's a problem, but that's a problem for life in general, as creator, for sure. There is no question there. You cannot create something outside of yourself, or you'll borrow creativity from whatever is around you and you do something with it. So that's not really being creative. That's not being truthful to what you really feel deep inside. But to go back to this idea of challenges that are presented to us, sometimes, yes, we can get angry because, well, why I don't deserve that? What have I done to go through such a challenge? Well, it's not about what we have done, but maybe on our path, we are supposed to sometimes fall in a hole and twist our ankle to stop everything and to make us think, what is really happening? Is it something to stop me, or is it something to reflect on? What is it, maybe as little as it is, that I have take action on that probably it was not quite right for me, And we see that all the time. We feel it all the time, as big as it can be or as small as it can be. When we are not quite on the X we're supposed to be on, things can happen, but challenges will come too with it. It doesn't take much. It's 1 degree difference that will make a difference in the end result or in the process we're in. But every process, to me personally, and God knows that challenges were in my life. It's life. And if I would have refuted everything that had happened, probably we will not be speaking. Probably I will have very little to say about any process that is the growth of human being. In the end, that's all there is to it. Mm-hmm. So yes, when you have a feeling or an intuition or something that speaks loud to you, call it how you want to call it, just pay attention, but don't pay attention to just the passion of hearing it, the shock of it, and be happy about it, but reflect on it in the depth of it without being stuck into it, because that's another danger that we see today. we get attached to all those great energy, to all those great sensation, intuition. We grasp on it, but this is not for us to grasp. Actually, it's for us to free it. So more is coming. Less you grasp, more things are coming to you.
Il faut répéter ça en français pour nos amis francophones parce que it's very powerful what you just said.
Je disais, en fait, on parlait de ce qui est ressenti à l'intérieur de nous. Des fois, je veux dire, où on rencontre sur notre chemin des défis, parce qu'il y a toujours des défis. Je prenais un petit peu l'image de marcher sur son chemin, tomber dans un trou, se tordre de cheville, on est en maudit, on n'est pas content, il y a quelque chose qui se passe, comment ça, je mérite ça, qu'est-ce que j'ai fait dans la vie, au ciel, qu'est-ce qui se passe, tu sais? Et là, tout s'arrête et on fige, on est en colère et on remet, en fin de compte, le scénario qu'on est en train de vivre à l'extérieur de nous. On blâme tout ce qu'il y a à l'extérieur de nous pour ce qui nous arrive, et ça, c'est un problème. Comme je disais un petit peu tantôt, et ma vie n'est pas la seule à avoir été défiée de multiples, comment dirais-je, de multiples murs qui se sont présentés devant moi, ou de multiples trous dans lesquels je suis tombé. Et on a, je crois, deux choix. Soit on remet à l'extérieur de nous une solution qu'on a à l'intérieur de nous, et cette solution, ce serait laquelle? C'est pas de rester avec le problème, mais c'est d'ouvrir, en fin de compte, notre cœur, notre être, afin de créer l'espace, de comprendre qu'est-ce qui se passe vraiment. Tu sais. Et comme je disais tantôt, très souvent, je veux dire, on ressent au fond de nous, des fois ça peut être très subtil, des fois ça nous arrive très clairement, je veux dire, ces espèces qu'on appelle d'intuition, de inner voice, de voix intérieure, où il n'y a rien là de magique ou de non magique, c'est simplement la nature même de ce que l'être humain est confectionné et qu'il nous faut, je crois, tout simplement accueillir. Et à travers cet accueil-là, cet espace que l'on créera pour accueillir ces sensations, dans certains cas, certaines personnes reçoivent carrément peut-être une information précise, des fois c'est sous forme d'énergie, tout ça, mais ça nous transporte. On est élevé par ça. Et je crois que c'est important juste de rester à l'écoute, de ne pas s'accrocher à ces choses-là, parce qu'aujourd'hui, on a un gros problème, on s'accroche à tout ce qui est spirituel, parce que d'un seul coup, le mot spirituel devient ce que l'Église était à une époque, et le mot spirituel devient une matière qu'on doit absolument s'approprier. Mais on ne peut rien s'approprier de cette nature, c'est impossible, parce que nous sommes cette nature-là, et donc il faut simplement la laisser émaner de nous, la laisser vivre pour ce qu'elle est, et de rester spacieux à l'écoute de ce qui se passe à l'intérieur de nous. Donc, tous les défis qui se présentent à nous, je ne crois pas qu'ils sont là pour nous arrêter, mais je crois qu'ils sont plutôt là pour nous faire évoluer, avancer, se connaître davantage dans les décisions que nous prenons. Et des fois, je crois que c'est important, pas de s'arrêter, donc dans le sens où on nous demande pas un butoir où on ne peut plus aller nulle part, non. Mais je crois que si on faisait des petites pauses de temps en temps, juste pour voir un petit peu où c'est qu'on se situe dans ce qu'on est en train de vivre, je crois qu'on avancerait beaucoup plus.
Dans quelques mots, si je te demande quelle est l'importance du cœur, qu'est-ce que tu me répondras?
Le cœur, c'est drôle, j'ai toujours parlé un petit peu de cette analogie-là. Tu sais, Connie, quand on regarde l'écran, je veux dire, dans une salle d'opération ou dans une salle de réanimation, on voit le battement de cœur, comment est-ce qu'il est fait. Tu sais, il y a une ligne droite, puis d'un seul coup, il y a un battement de cœur, on identifie très clairement que ça va vers le haut, vers le bas, et ça revient très calme, et là, ça revient vers le haut, vers le bas, d'une façon très aiguë, comme symbole. La vie, c'est ça. Et si la vie est le battement de cœur, le battement de cœur, il vit aussi, avec des hauts et des bas, une ligne plus stable. Donc, il n'y a pas de mystère.
Oh, c'est tellement beau. C'est beau. Merci, Jean-Jacques.
Yeah, there is no mystery to your question. You know, the heart is what it is. It's the center of who we are. And I was taking this analogy quickly to remind ourselves that when we look at a screen or the monitor in the surgery room or reanimation room, we have the visual of what the heart is doing. You know, there is a very small straight line, and then suddenly it goes up and down in a very angular way. And then again, you know, it's one line. And then again, there is, you know, and so I was comparing this to what life is. Yes, life is the heart, and the heart is doing this drawing. So there is a reason for it, probably. I'm advancing myself there. I don't know if I believe fully what I'm saying. I don't have any proof of that. And who cares about proof after? At the end, what is important is what inspires you, what brings you forward, what elevates you to surpass yourself. And for me, that drawing or visualization of what the heart does physically, or how it's shown on the screen, on the monitor, is a great understanding of what life is about. And that's our heart. Our heart is drawing that line, nobody else. Exactly. The heart is drawing it. Why don't we accept that then and go with it?
So something just powerful happened within me, and it resonated so much. The image you just gave for me, it's artistry. Listen to this one. The heart takes center stage. Being an artist, you take that stage and you are center stage, and you have to move mountains, and you have to move the people watching you. Well, this is your heart doing it. If you get out of your head, and we're not speaking about the head because today is all about the power of the heart. If you bring back all your intentions and affirmations back to where the source is, why you chose to do what you're doing, why you are doing what you are doing. The whys to my life is endless. I think I ask a million whys a day. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm going to keep asking them because I always want to answer all my whys. But taking center stage, the heart takes center stage. Absolutely. And from there you move.
Well, and it always has been taking center stage, always,
But not everybody lives from there, because not everybody.
Well, that's the problem of humanity, and we are learning it the hard way in every sphere of our lives. Again, whatever the career we decided to take. But if our career was, okay, I'm choosing to be a human being, if you don't listen to your heart, what's left?
I'm choosing to be a human being. Guys, please listen.
The career is one thing, it's one element of expression, from what we have felt at one point deep inside us to make that choice of career, But even the idea of career, why do we call it a career? What does it mean? Is it because we are looking at the end result, an objective to reach because society tells us to reach that objective of excellency? Who cares? Mm-hmm. If your heart is in the right place and your passion is guiding you, you will be excellent in what you're doing. Why establishing a bar of excellency? It serves no purpose except killing our societies. And there is nothing in this that can be serving us, because each human being in every powerful heart that is living within ourselves are as important. And it's a collaboration among all of us. And that's what is creation. That's what is creating. That's what is sharing it, And so there is nothing more to it, We have a tendency to always get outside of ourselves. Why?
The whys again. Alors,
yes, exactly.
The whys, I'm telling you. Si le cœur est à la bonne place, complète ma phrase, Jean-Jacques.
Si le cœur est à la bonne place, on n'a pas il n'y a plus de dualité là en fait. Je le compléterai un peu comme ça en français. Il n'y a plus de dualité, nous n'avons plus à nous poser 40 millions de questions à savoir est-ce que je fais la bonne chose. Très très souvent dans l'histoire, on l'a vu, on a mis le cœur de côté. Même les scientifiques ont dit que c'était les neurones qui guidaient le tout et que notre cœur se trouvait là. À une époque, ça a été dit et redit. Et là, finalement, on arrive à la fin de certaines études, on se dit, on a fait une erreur. Finalement, c'est le cœur. Ah! On pensait plus qu'on avait un cœur qui était là pour nous faire vivre. S'il nous fait vivre, ce cœur, c'est qui nous guide dans notre vie. Donc, au bout d'un moment, je veux dire, faut arrêter, je veux dire, avec cet esprit analytique qui est une dualité par excellence et qui ne sert absolument à rien. Et dans la création, parce que là, on reparle un petit peu en tant qu'artiste, mais dans la création, je veux dire, on ne peut pas faire interférer l'esprit analytique en premier lieu. C'est une erreur fondamentale. Et on ne fera que recréer ce qu'on a déjà créé. Et on n'arrivera pas à inspirer, je veux dire, les gens que l'on souhaite toucher. Il faut que nous arrivions à se faire confiance, à créer cet espace intérieur afin que notre cœur nous dise quoi faire. Parce qu'il y a un langage. Le langage du cœur, il existe. Il n'est plus un mystère pour personne. Il faut simplement faire le pas et décider que voici la règle que j'établis pour moi-même. C'est ce langage du cœur dont je veux parler, donc que je souhaite être, par lequel je souhaite être guidé. Et c'est tout. Après ça, on peut toujours faire une réflexion. Ça, c'est pas grave. On n'est pas. Je ne dis pas qu'il faut laisser cet esprit analytique complètement de côté. Non, nous vivons dans une société qui est très conceptualisée, donc il nous faut être judicieux. Mais de là à enlever complètement ce langage du cœur dans la création, je crois que c'est un gros problème, très gros problème. Et il y a beaucoup d'entreprises dans ce monde qui n'ont créé que par cet esprit analytique et qui finalement ça a tourné en rond et ça devient un peu, on se fait des entorses plus qu'on devrait se le faire des fois. Donc le cœur ne crée pas d'entorse. Des fois on pense qu'il pousse trop, mais parce que peut-être on a du retard à rattraper sur lui. Donc,
For the listeners listening, living from the heart, what does it mean to you? If you have that 1 minute to answer that, how would you answer it? And now I'm going to ask Jean-Jacques, because, you know, this is not going to take 30 minutes and then they've lived from the heart. This is going to take time to establish what living from the heart means. And I'm watching him right now, and you have to see him. He's like searching for the right answers. I don't think he's searching because he already lives from the heart and he knows how powerful that is.
I want to find the right words.
Exactly.
You know, the other day I was telling you, William Forsythe, the great choreographer, such an avant-gardist man, when he did that piece at the Paris Opera in 82, somewhat in the middle, elevated, somewhat elevated. He creates something that in a classical ballet we never saw before, you know, something completely out of this world. And I was about to sign a huge contract with a big company, and I had called him and I said, you know, Bill, that's how we call it in the business, Bill. And I told him, I said, you know, I'm about to get on that road. It's huge. I'm not sure. I don't know how to approach it. How am I going to do that? And he says, well, he said 3 words actually. And he said, only one thing can happen. It's for you to find the words. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now. But it's true for anything. If we were taking, again, a few seconds before we open our mouth and speak, maybe something magical would come out of it. You know? It's all about space. It's about giving us the chance to receive, to listen.
Yes.
So
how do we
live from the heart? It's really in a simple way, in a very simple way. It's a decision making that we have to act on for sure. In the second phase, it's something very overwhelming because we don't know what to expect, except that if you are not well in your mind and you are not happy in your life, well, we're not taking a chance on what the language of the heart has to deliver. Mm-hmm. This might be a game changer, and I know it will be for everyone who decide to go that road, to take that road. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, sometimes what happens when you listen to your heart is like your brain wants to go to the right, and your heart tells you, I think you're making a mistake, my friend. Listen to look to the left. Yeah, no, it doesn't look so pretty. It doesn't look so exciting. It doesn't look so this and this and that. But maybe if you dig a little bit or scratch the earth, you will see how this dirt smell. Mm-hmm. You know, this is almost untouched and it's for you to walk on. So as Emerson was saying, do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. That's our job as a human being. We all came here probably, if I don't know what everyone believes in, and that doesn't matter. But the fact that we are stepping on this earth, there is a purpose to it. I don't think every human being on this planet is here to be decorating the planet. The planet is plenty beautiful as it is in order to receive us on it and to be the host of our lives. So if I would say, and that's the heart also, how it is to live with the heart open and listen to it. Well, if we, for the longest time, we have thought that we were above the power of nature and we extract ourselves from nature, the fact is we cannot do this because we are that vibration, we are nature. And the heart tells you that. That's how powerful the heart is. So maybe you should start by going in nature if you like it, or even if you don't like it. That's not the point. The point is just go in nature from time to time and just be there. Try not to think, try not to analyze even how beautiful a tree is. Try to put yourself in some kind of a simple, neutral space so you can just feel what nature is. At least this is obvious because you can see it. Mm-hmm. So just contemplate it and see how you feel. Just contemplate it and see how you feel. If you start with this, you will probably get sooner or later into a space that is much more subtle, that is your heart, and you'll be able to listen to it. Nature has that power because we are nature. There is no one human being that cannot communicate with nature. That is simply impossible unless that person decided to be voluntarily blind regarding beauty. But that's another issue.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so good. Dance to the beat of the music, dance to the beat of your heart, play music to the beat of your heart while you're walking in nature.
I like that. This is what you just said, Connie, is so clear how to listen to the heart. If you feel deep inside to listen to a certain type of music, which is music is universal, when you listen to that energy that pushes you forward to listen to a certain type of music, well, then you are listening more than just music. Mm-hmm. You are contenting something that deep inside tells you to listen to that music. The thing is, we don't realize it most of the time. That's what's happening, but it is happening in every human being.
You're vibrating, you're feeling the sense of, those shivers you get, but those shivers mean something. When you get those shivers, listen to what happened inside of you, watch what happened around you, and then you understand that that's your heart speaking to you. That's your inner voice. And, I want to give an example because my inner voice always yells at me. Literally, if I don't listen to it, like it starts very slow. And then let's say I don't listen to it, it literally screams at me like, and then I have to bring myself back down and ask again my whys and just listen to the journey of my life experience, because sometimes I feel like I'm meant to go one way because, yes, I'm so good at this. I gave myself this title that I should always be, moving towards to. But journey has it that maybe I have other skills, other qualities that could help and impact more than what I'm just giving. And these are moments in life where growth and evolving happens within. But again, being in that space of truth, of listening, of breathing, of taking that space for your heart to show you the way, which is just grand for me. When the heart shows me the way, I am so grateful that it did, because sometimes it's all about what you want. My ego gets in the way. And then it's like, no. Anyways, the heart always wins. In my case, my heart always wins. I mean, my heart crashes the ego. That's what I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. So my heart is always the winner of my life. And I'm forever grateful for that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But let's say for an example, for someone who is not used to do this, yes, to listen to it, I think if we were to approach it at least to balance things with, our analytic mind and the language of the heart, at least if we were open to balance things out, that would be already a step in the right direction. We don't, sometimes, for some people, it happened very, rapidly, abruptly, because that's probably the way they're supposed to learn that, their heart exists for a reason. But for some others, there is probably a balance that can be found at first, and we will realize sooner or later that this guide that we have, that is our heart, that vibration that is there, that is very difficult to explain because it's It exists for it to be felt. Um, it will take more space because we realize that our life is much lighter, less pressure on us because we are well within ourselves, often when I always say that when I create or when I write or when I whatever conceptualize something, I always take everything that is outside of me. I just push it maybe a meter further away from me, so I have space to come back home, which is in my heart, and just to be there, even if nothing happened. Remember the heartbeat. There is a straight line, and then there is a beat. And then there's a straight line again. Well, the straight line doesn't mean we're not alive, is it? Does it mean that? No. It just means it's a restful moment before the next heartbeat, because in between each heartbeat, we need that space.
And it's a safe space. I believe it's a very, very safe space. And we forget.
It is. This is our life. This is the sign of our life. How could it not be safe? That's what keeps us alive without trouble. So we have to honor that. I really to believe that we have to honor that, and it's less of the brain and a bit more of the heart, and that's true, as you were saying at the beginning of this exchange. You wanted to go on the human side, but going back to the creative side, this is exactly the same thing, except that some of us are chosen to be creators artistically. Some others are creators scientifically, on the research, on philosophers. We all have different passions. So the path is a little bit different for each one of us, but in the end, it's exactly the same path.
I just wish we could use the first title of every CV or bio is our name with human, just being a human before every single thing that we attach to what we are meant to be or become or discover or whatever. Just being a human, living our everyday life, trying our best, living from the heart, dancing to our music, singing to the rhythm of life. Wouldn't it be so much more wonderful? But we would love to create all these obstacles in the way.
Yeah. Connie, and I mean, I know creation is not small. Creation is not big. Creation is just about feeling naked in the face of the unknown. It's authorizing ourselves to be present without knowing what's going to happen next. That's the beginning of being a creator, because you cannot be in your head. You can only be present to receive whatever will make you create something. And if it makes you create something, it's because you're supposed to create it, and it will happen. It's the same that I was saying at the beginning of our conversation. If you are on your X, but a little bit too much to the right, therefore not quite center on it, well, you will walk on your path a little bit to the right. Yeah. It's the same for a little bit to the left, but you are not going to be in the center of it.
So Jean-Jacques, we're coming towards the end of our beautiful conversation with the heart. Now, if after listening to us, you want to start living from the heart and you're quite not sure yet, you have a bit of tools here. I think we've shared a lot. But what would you say in other words, Jean-Jacques, like short and sweet? I want to start today and live from the heart. I want to listen to life's messages. I want to fully be me and be present and respect myself in every single choices.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Well, there's two things. The heart will never make you do something impossible. So let's not be afraid of listening to that energy, that vibration. And it might not be big things at first, but little by little, it will create an habit of listening to it, and for you to be part of it, not to be outside of it, even if the heart is inside ourselves. It's tricky, huh? It's very tricky. The mind is very tricky. So I will start with just trying to listen to it, just to make silent from time to time, and just be in that space without judging anything, without being pulled outside of ourselves. I know it's not easy at first, but little by little, you realize you can be walking even downtown Montreal and still be able to be in touch with it. Mm-hmm. It's all a question of small practices, and little by little, you will see that you will become that heart. You will not be using it. You will become it, and of course, some people think it's a long path. No, it's not. It's really not that long. It's all about decision making, and sometimes we think we're going to lose a lot on what we have behind us, but what we have behind us in our suitcases is still behind us. Mm-hmm. Not in front of us.
It's not. Oh my God, your heart is within. Listen, industry talk is all about teaching and training people to take action, execute, practice every day. Well, this is it. This is a practice that probably we forget in our journey. It's probably the practice we should do even before rehearsing everything, is practicing the heart chakra, practicing where we live in that heart space, practicing how to be silent. So that's a practice we should do daily, and not take it as, oh, we don't have time. I think that's our leader. That's what's going to be leading our life. That's what's going to direct us to where we want to go. It's by living with heart.
And where we're supposed to go also, because sometimes our mind wants to go there, as I was telling earlier, success, the idea of success. Oh. What does it mean? For me, the idea of success is to be my better self each time that I have the opportunity to be. And since we have the opportunity to be all the time, then, we should be the best version of ourselves on the daily basis. But it's not easy. I don't make it every day. Sorry, I don't. Challenges are there. I want it or not. My mind sometimes goes to being pissed like anyone else. And then I'm like, okay, what are you doing? It's not serving any purpose here. But regarding practices that you are mentioning in our art form, in order to get better at what we do, well, we can only get better at what we do if we are in tune with what we deeply feel inside. We can have a coach that brings us a character on paper and say, like, I like you to go in that direction. Well, yes, I would love to, but I don't feel it. Yeah, but it's good for you. What I say? Yeah, but I don't feel it. I said, okay, so I will say to personally, that's the way I will do it. Okay, go with how you feel about the character. And within what you have there, that is you, nobody else, you within yourself, then we'll find the nuances of the character that I want you to find. Mm-hmm. But you're going to find it within your own being, not in trying to be someone else. Because as you know, in order for the audience to believe in what we are giving them, we have to be that character. In order to be that character, we need to make room within ourselves to do it. And we have to find our own truth about that character, not a stereotype of a character.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And for those that think I don't connect with the people, I don't get auditions, or I don't know, I don't feel this connection. Well, maybe anchor back into your heart and see how you connect with yourself. Once you connect with yourself, this attraction will happen immediately. The light will be shared and people will connect with you because you're living from a place of truth. You're being you, whether people like you, whether people don't like you, whether you're right for the job, whether you're right for the casting. It doesn't matter anymore because you gave your truth. Yeah, and in absolutely. There, that should be the win-win of anything you'll do in life. That is your answer right there.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Absolutely
it.
Agree.
Alors, Jean-Jacques, si on laisse cette émission, qu'est-ce que tu peux nous dire, une dernière phrase qui vient du cœur? Qu'est-ce que tu peux nous laisser avec?
I think let's stop judging ourselves before we act on something.
Great.
That will be it. I think there is a key there to avoid distortion on any level of decision making we will make. So let's stop judging ourselves before we act on something. Especially if it comes from the heart, just take a chance on it and see how it goes. At least take a chance on it. At least take a chance on it. And then you'll make your own decision later.
And we end on that note. Take a chance, everyone. Live from the heart. Je te remercie énormément, Jean-Jacques, de faire partie de notre conversation aujourd'hui. Et thank you for being wonderful you. You're amazing.
We all try to be, as close to ourselves as possible. Bye. Take care. Thank you for the invitation again.